Don't worry your pretty feathers, Cap. I got myself a crew.
Hey, welcome back to the channel, guys. Season 2 of X-Men 97 is doing an amazing job, and the child inside me couldn't be any happier. Last episode, titled Rise of Apocalypse Part 2, ended the team's battle against Rama Tut, the Kang the Conqueror Variant, and gave us some surprising deaths at the hands of Apocalypse. However, they saved the real shocker for the post-credits scene. Yes! We got an Avengers cameo, and Wolverine popped up as he headed to Paris to meet Black Widow and Captain America. But what's the meaning of teasing Wolverine in the post-credits, where Cap handed over the Weapon X file to Wolverine and reminisced about how they met after almost 50 years? I screamed when Logan said, "Could even say I'm getting the old band back together." Holy crap. It's quite evident that we're about to see some intriguing secrets from Wolverine's past, and they might be lifted straight from the comics. What could they be? Let's check it out.
Smelled you coming a mile away, Boy Scout.
As soon as Cap gave that file labeled Weapon X in red and Black Widow said that secrets like these cannot stay buried, we knew that Wolverine is planning to return to the organization that originally put indestructible adamantium skeleton and claws into his body. But before that, what exactly is Weapon X? According to the comics, Weapon X is a top-secret government program by Canada, which aims at creating a supreme living weapon. It was part of the bigger program known as Weapon Plus program, and X actually stands for the Roman numeral 10. That means Logan wasn't exactly the first mutant they experimented on. The comics literally shows the label Experiment X for him, and the next episode might give us Logan's Weapon X origin story. Weapon Plus was created by the legendary comic book writer Grant Morrison, and given we've seen his era influencing X-Men 97, like the Genosha arc in this season, we have all the more reason to believe that Wolverine's entry will be taking us back into the lab. And it makes perfect sense. See, in the last season, Magneto stripped him of his adamantium bones, and though he survived due to his regenerative healing, all he was left with was brittle bone claws. Now that he's got his hands on Weapon X records, that suggests that he'll try to regain those metal claws and bones again. That also ties in with the Apocalypse part, because in the comics, it was Apocalypse who restored Wolverine's adamantium so that he could use the Violent Mutant as one of his horsemen. However, since we got Weapon X in the narrative, it's unlikely he'll choose this path. But hey, Wolverine's not just gonna walk in politely and talk to the agents involved in the program. He's got something big planned, and that's exactly why Cap told him that whatever he's planning to do, it's not safe for him to do alone. Whether Cap himself and Natasha Romanoff join Logan is still not clear, but we can make an educated guess about the crew that Wolverine talked about, and you'll see why I screamed in the first place. In all probability, the crew is referring to a CIA-backed covert group, Team X, which means enter Sabretooth. And we can also have Maverick, because he's already been teased in the X-Men 97 Season 2 prequel comic. Also, if we're lucky enough, Deadpool will pop in too, because he had been a test subject of Weapon X. Now, thanks to Slash Film, we know about a leaked trailer which showed Wolverine's buddy, X-Man Morph, looking at Weapon X's data tapes, and it has two very well-known faces. One is Sabretooth, as I've already guessed, and the next one is Lady Deathstrike, Logan's old flame. Logan actually did something similar in the 1992 X-Men The Animated Series. If you remember the episode Weapon X, Lies, and Videotape, which showed Wolverine going into an abandoned Weapon X facility, which triggered some painful flashbacks for him. The episode also revealed how Weapon X messed with the test subject's memories and implanted fake ones, and showed 4 former Weapon X candidates, Silver Fox, Maverick, Sabretooth, and Wolverine, try to untangle the past. Ultimately, Beast found that all 4 of them went through hypnosis so they could be placed as sleeper agents till their memories were activated again and they were summoned back to Weapon X for the robot Talos to neutralize them. And there were actually multiple Talos, even if they managed to take one down, and ultimately a mental blast knocked out the Weapon X agents, and Beast managed to save them all before the center exploded. Given the title of the 5th episode of X-Men 97 Season 2 is the same as the 90s episode, I'm pretty sure it'll be serving as a sequel to the decades-old story. But we have to keep one thing in mind. When that episode aired in 1995, Logan's past was still shrouded in mystery on the comic book pages, but decades have passed since then, and we've had some major answers. That indicates that the next episode is likely to pull some content from Morrison's new X-Men run of 2001 to 2004. There, it was revealed that Weapon 1 was Captain America, which only clarifies what Cap was doing in the cameo. Now, what were they doing in Paris? Once again, that has to do with Morrison's clandestine super soldier program, Weapon Plus. In the comics, we had a super soldier and a mutant thief created as Weapon 12, and he was one of Marvel's most skilled assassins. He was also known for sharing a strange Strange bonded with a ship named EVA, which was basically an expansion of his own nervous system. Any guesses? Yeah, I'm talking about Phantom X, and he can speak in a French accent, justifying the French connection in the post-credits scene. If X-Men 97 Season 2 is indeed bringing in Phantom X, then be ready to see one of the most trippy comic adaptations. X-Men 97's already doing a great job with cameos since the first season. Dr. Doom and Baron Zemo appeared in the first season's finale episode titled Tolerance is Extinction as secret collaborators with Bastion in his anti-mutant program, Operation Zero Tolerance. In the original 90s series, Spider-Man also crossed over with the X-Men. I guess that assures us that a Black Widow cameo won't be messing things up because characters from the larger Marvelverse are being used as seasoning, and trust me, this is only making the show more delicious. But there is something special about this Black Widow. She just made a proper 90s style animation appearance in X-Men 97. Yeah, believe it or not, Black Widow was barely used in the Marvel 90s animated shows, and often only in thinly veiled stand-ins like Agent X and Spider-Man the Animated Series. Whether it was toy aisle politics or just the era's priorities, she never really got a proper spotlight in the 90s Marvel animation, and X-Men 97 has finally given us what she would have looked like back in those animation styles, and appeared in her full black jumpsuit and short hair, which was Black Widow's 80s to 90s costume. Also, Natasha and Logan go pretty far back in the comics, and that might explain why Wolverine retracted those claws the moment she said, "Down, boy." Seeing Wolverine, Captain America, and Black Widow together reminded me of number 286 of Uncanny X-Men, where the artwork was done by Jim Lee. The narrative unfolded between two timelines, juggling between 1941 and 1990, and we had Captain America, Wolverine, and Black Widow getting caught up in a long-running conspiracy which involved Baron Strucker and the Hand. First, we saw August 1941, when Chow and Ivan Petrovich fought against the Hand in Madripoor, but got overwhelmed until Wolverine swooped in and helped defeat the ninjas, thus saving the day. Later on, Logan intentionally confronted Baron Strucker at Serv's bar to literally memorize his scent, as he believed it would help him track down the Nazi leader afterwards. Captain America and Ivan then revealed that Strucker had kidnapped a young Natasha Romanoff, and Logan joined them to rescue her. The trio managed to ambush Strucker's convoy and free Natasha. But during the rescue mission, Wolverine shielded her from a series of bullet shots, which allowed Cap and Ivan to get her to safety. Although Logan was presumed dead, his healing factor obviously kept him alive. On the other hand, Captain America found that the American consulate had been compromised by Strucker's agents. It was revealed that Strucker's goal was to use Natasha, who was the last descendant of the Romanov dynasty, as part of his bigger plan to reshape the world's political order along with the Hand. Then we move on to 1990. Black Widow faced off with the Hand alone until Wolverine, Jubilee, and Psylocke arrived to rescue her. Natasha explained that she was tracking the Strucker twins, who were working with their new leader of the Hand, and since Wolverine's team was already investigating the Hand, they combined forces. The heroes hatched a coordinated plan and infiltrated the villain's ship, with Natasha and Psylocke posing as entertainers to gain access. Jubilee snuck into the engine room and sabotaged the ship, and Wolverine attacked the guards while the others confronted the enemies inside. Again, the story returned in 1941, where Wolverine recovered and killed the Hand's leader, freeing Captain America and Ivan. He also helped them battle the Hand's supernatural ninja forces and Nazi soldiers before Natasha escaped safely with Captain America and Ivan. Coming back to 1990, the heroes discovered that their mission had failed and that the Strucker twins and the Hand's leader had already guessed they would attack. So they replaced themselves with decoys and fled even before the confrontation began, and Wolverine, Black Widow, Psylocke, and Jubilee realized they'd reached a dead end. Then, decades later, we got a direct sequel to this issue, the limited series Wolverine Madripoor Nights of 2025, which picked right up where issue 268 left us. Wolverine, Cap, and Black Widow teamed up again in the present day to track down and fight enemies like the Hand and Bloodscreen. Hopefully, we'll get some flashbacks that would solidify the relationship between Black Widow and Wolverine. The post-credit scene also offered another huge revelation. Let's bring in the names on Comic-Con Revolution Ontario disc, which name-dropped Winter Soldier. That tells us that the Weapon Plus project in X-Men 97's timeline might have operated on both sides, and somewhat explains why the trailer showed us the super soldier Russian mutant Omega Red. In fact, the 1995 episode Weapon X Lies and Videotape also featured flashbacks of Omega Red. Coming back to Winter Soldier in Wolverine's context, there is indeed a comic arc where a brainwashed Bucky Barnes is used as a tool to manipulate Logan and was even responsible for killing Wolverine's wife, Itsu. Now, there is a possibility that we'll see a redeemed Winter Soldier in this show's timeline, or we're getting Wolverine versus Bucky Barnes, and that kind of reestablished Cap's entry. See, we already know from the trailer that Wolverine will get his adamantium back, and if Marvel is throwing in the Weapon X part here, honestly, that feels like a smart move because it would turn Weapon X's storyline from a random side mission into a proper logical incorporation into the story, and we would know why Wolverine chose to research about Weapon X now. Anyhow, fans are already super excited about the post-credit scene, and seeing the trio banter after all this time was a major throwback. Moreover, the Avengers coming in gave us hope for an interconnected Marvel animated universe, and I bet it'll be better than the current MCU. Alright guys, that's all for today. Getting Cap, Wolverine, and Natasha back together was definitely not on my 2026 bingo card, and I can't keep calm about seeing how the later episodes will unfold. Jump in the comments below and let us know your thoughts, and if you like this video, don't forget to hit that bell icon. I'll see you in the next one. As always, stay marvelous.